What's going on, everybody? My name is Seth and you're watching 252 Squad, and in today's video we're probably taking my Mustang to a whole nother level and we're going full bolt-on, starting with a Boss intake manifold, Airaid Cold Air Intake, and a Lund tune. So without further ado, let's go ahead and pull the vehicle into the bay and get started taking it apart.
1, 2, 3!
All right, so I got the car in my bay. I've actually started tearing down on it a little bit, as you can see by this. Let me show you the progress right fast. So essentially, I just pulled the quick pack cover off. I got that off right there. And essentially just this intermediate tube right here. A few bolts there. I'm gonna go ahead and pull everything off to get the intake out as far as that goes, and try to pull this air box out as well.
Get into the gym.
Facts. We be gymming, not tonight though. Alrighty, so let me show you what we're putting on the vehicle. As you can see pretty clearly, this is a Boss 302 intake manifold. It is a non-ported version, just a standard Boss. And then I have this Airaid Cold Air Intake here. This is also a race application version, so this one does not have the baffling system in it. And then last but certainly not least, as you can see here, Lund Racing, we have an LRX that is going to be going in this car to tune everything, to make everything work well. So yeah, now I'm going to actually get into the time lapse of ripping everything apart. Alrighty, so we went ahead and got the old intake manifold off. I will say I do like this Gen 1 design a lot more than I did the other design that I pulled off of another vehicle, which was a Gen 2 design that had a bunch of intake manifold runner control connectors just down on the backside. This thing is pretty simple, pretty easy. Not a whole heck of a lot going on there. So now we're gonna get ready and mock this bad boy up. Alrighty, so we got the intake on. It's not bolted up, but it's just kind of test mocked up. The electrical connectors back there that plug or hook onto the back are put in, and I just tested to make sure that this true fiber hood would close on it. I did actually take out this scoop piece that runs through there because it is a functional scoop up top. Just took that out just to make sure it clears this piece right there. Of course, I'm not going to be able to run the strut tower brace anymore, but it looks really good like that. Alrighty, so I'm just going to go ahead and put it back on a time lapse, go ahead and get everything tightened down, go ahead and get the fuel rail put in and everything like that, and get it all back together. So as you can probably tell by the large tap and die set and the senior master tech coming over here, I cross-threaded that rear bolt back there by using a wobble socket. So don't do that when you're trying to use an impact driver on it. We had to end up pulling the intake back off, tap and dyeing it, and making sure everything cleaned the threads up. Luckily, it literally went in right at the beginning. That's when it messed up. So once it cleared there, we were able to get it straightened up. So now the intake is now bolted on for good, and I got to put the fuel rail back on. Alright, I don't know if I'm a complete idiot or what, probably so, but I could not get this fuel rail back on without pulling the intake back off, so now I gotta put the intake back on the car. So I'll fast forward to that now. Alrighty, so we got everything stuck on here, got this tube here secured, throttle body is on, we got a coolant hose that routes around to the back side down there. This hose does kind of have a kink in it, so we'll see how that goes over time. If it does cause me any issues, I'll just change to a different type of line maybe. But that still sits there, purge valve's connected there, throttle body is plugged in down there. Everything is secure, bolted in fuel rail wise and everything like that. So now I'm getting ready to put the Airaid on, which Sean is working on currently, and get it ready to flash the Lund tune on it. So pretty much got the Airaid installed kind of jankily right now. Apparently the Airaid I got is not for a Boss 302 intake, so it's just kind of sitting up there right now. So we're gonna go ahead and program it, let it go through the Lund tune right here. We're gonna go ahead and save the stock ECU tune right fast. Alrighty, so now that I have the old tune saved onto the device here, I am programming in the new tune here. As you can see, it is programming, and then once this bar completes, it should be programmed. So last night when I cut off on the video, I was uploading the tune on the car and everything went well there, but the actual intake, the cold air intake I got, did not fit. It was actually for a regular intake manifold and not the Boss. So I went ahead and Facebook Marketplaced it and got Sean to pick up a Facebook Marketplace Airaid, essentially what my car is tuned for, intake. So we're gonna go ahead and throw that up there and now get some running footage up for you. Alrighty, so we got the car outside after getting the intake put on. As you can see, the Airaid is on the vehicle. I am already noticing it rubs ever so slightly there, and I guess right there on the hood, but I'm not worried about that too much considering this is behind the actual scoop part up there. So that doesn't really bother me too much, but this is what it looks like now. Looks pretty good. Now, as far as driving footage, I'm not gonna be able to get you a whole lot for this video just simply because I'm on base tune right now, so I gotta send a data log off to Lund, and that'll probably be later. And then once they send it back to me, I'll be able to update y'all with a whole new video. I'm gonna make a whole video explaining full bolt-on pretty much as far as this goes on this car, the tuning, Lund, and everything in general with the car that is going on. So that's gonna be future videos. But yeah, this thing is so sick looking. It looks so menacing now just with the Airaid and the massive Boss 302 sticking up here. Really need to clean these coil pack covers off because they're pretty dirty, as well as they're bright red and they don't really match the burgundy of the rest of the car. But other than that, man, this thing looks really, really good. Overall, that's pretty much going to be it for the video. I just have a few things I want to say before I end out the video. Starting off with, I made this way harder than it should have been. So if you watch the whole thing through, you probably see me putting in wait and watch until the end before you actually start doing things, because I struggled a lot when I shouldn't have, and that is my stupidity. I had access to the workshop manual from Ford and I still didn't pay attention, and I still managed to have to pull the intake off like 4 times in this install, which is ridiculous because it should have been like a 10-minute install for me. The other thing I wanted to say is don't make the same mistake I did and buy a regular GT intake on Facebook Marketplace, and when you need the Boss 302, it is a Boss 302 specific cold air intake you're gonna need to run this setup if you're gonna run something like this. It's gonna be a little bit of a hassle. If you do run an 18 and up manifold, I think you can run the factory style, which I do have actually, it's a GT350/Bullet/Mach 1 intake manifold with lockouts on it. So who knows, if I get bored of this setup, I might try to swap to that. I have seen that they do make a little bit more power. The power band's just way different. You don't have peak power way up top. But we're gonna get into some videos in the future and see what it's like actually with it being full bolt-on. I think the Lund tune revs out to like 8K. I don't think I wanna go that high with stock oil pump gears, but it does seem like fun having a really high revving, really high up in the power band powered Coyote. But overall, guys, that's gonna be all for today's video. You might see a few clips of me doing a few pulls, just some light pulls like on base tune, and just going over what I feel like of the car. There's a lot more footage gonna be coming out. Ponies in the Smokies, I actually leave in a week from when this is being recorded. So when you probably see it, it'll probably be a few days before I leave out for Ponies in the Smokies. So there's gonna be a lot of content there, as well as reviews of the full bolt-on stuff, as well as the MGW shifter I just got and actually have installed in the car. So you're gonna see a video on that, as well as a bunch of other Mustang content, as well as a new series coming to the channel based on a Volkswagen GTI. So if you do enjoy, please consider subscribing to the channel. A lot more content, a lot more videos, a lot more stuff coming out. Don't mind liking the video and leaving a comment what you would like to see next on the Mustang or other series. So thank y'all so much for watching. Hope y'all have a great rest of y'all's day. Peace out, and I'll see you next time.